Hello everyone, I Devesh Shaswal. Once again, welcome to my lecture on DC motor drives. This is the fourth part of DC motor drives. In this lecture, I will discuss the DC to DC converter fed DC drives. So now let us start. These are the contents which is to be discussed here. First one is chopper drives. Second, power control, which is also called motoring control. Third one will be discussed here, regenerative braking control. Fourth is rheostatic or dynamic braking control. Next will be discussed here, combination of regenerative and rheostatic braking control. Then two quadrant chopper drives, and at last fourth quadrant chopper drives will be discussed here. Now let us see the chopper drives. As we know that variable DC voltage can be controlled from DC to DC converters or choppers. So choppers can be used for speed control of DC motor. If the field winding of DC motor is fed from a constant DC source and chopper is also connected across the armature circuit, then voltage across armature can be controlled by varying the duty cycle of a chopper. The speed of DC motor can be controlled below the base speed by varying the armature voltage, and for the speed control of DC motor above the base speed, another chopper may be connected across the field winding. The DC to DC converter or chopper fed DC drives are generally used in electric traction applications. The DC chopper is not only used in speed control, but also it is used for dynamic and regenerative braking of DC motors drives. Chopper fed DC drives operates in four quadrant by controlling both armature voltage and field current. When the field flux is in same direction and also the polarity of armature voltage is reversed, then motor will operate in reverse direction. Then it is called reverse motoring operation. During the regenerating braking operation, motor voltage must be greater than input voltage. If the input voltage is non-receptive during the regenerative braking, then motor voltage will be less than input voltage, and in that case regenerative braking may not be possible. In that case, rheostatic braking or dynamic braking is possible for DC drives. DC chopper are mostly used in battery operated electric vehicles, etc. There are some different operating modes in which chopper drives operated. First one is motor control or motoring control. Second, regenerative braking control. Third is the rheostatic or dynamic braking control, and fourth one is the combination of regenerative and rheostatic braking control. Now let us see the motoring control or power control of DC motor drives. Here we see that this is the arrangement of chopper fed DC drives. In this arrangement, DC to DC converter means DC chopper may be as a transistor, IGBT, MOSFET, or force commutated thyristor. This drives operates as a first quadrant drive. Here we see that various waveforms. This waveform is the source voltage waveform. This is the armature terminal voltage waveform. This is the armature current or output current or load current waveform, and this shows the source current waveform, and this is the freewheeling diode current waveform. Here we assume that load is highly inductive and load current is ripple free. During the turn on condition of chopper, the output voltage will be obtained, and here we see that during turn on period, this is the output voltage or armature terminal voltage of motor, and during turn off the freewheeling diode will conduct, so the output voltage terminal voltage will be 0. Here this waveform is the armature current or load current, which is assumed here ripple free, so it remains constant, that will be equal to IA. This waveform is the source current. During turn on period, the source current will be positive, and it flows through the motor drives, and during turn off period it does not flow. All the load current flows through the freewheeling diode, so the source current will be zero during the turn off period. This is the freewheeling diode current. When the chopper is turned on, then no current will flow through the freewheeling diode, and when the chopper is not conducting, then freewheeling diode will conduct, and in that case the freewheeling diode current will be obtained. Here we see that freewheeling diode during the turn off period. Now from the waveform of armature terminal voltage, the average motor voltage can be calculated. So average motor voltage can be given by the relation V naught is equal to Vt T on upon T into Vs. As we know that alpha is the duty cycle, which is equal to T on upon T, so we can write average motor voltage V naught is equal to alpha into Vs, and also F is the chopping frequency, that will be equal to 1 upon T. So in terms of frequency, we can write average motor voltage V naught is equal to F into Tn into Vs. Now the power delivered to the motor is equal to average motor voltage into average motor current. So we can write here power delivered to the motor is equal to Vt into Ia. By putting this value, we can write alpha into Vs into Ia. This is the power delivered to the motor. And also average source current will be equal to T on upon T into Ia, and in terms of duty cycle, that will be equal to alpha into Ia. And input power to the chopper will be equal to average input voltage into average source current. So input power to the chopper is equal to Vs into alpha into Ia. Now from the motor armature circuit equation can be written as Vt is equal to alpha into Vs, and also we know that Vt is equal to Ea plus Ia Ra plus Rs. Here we take the motor as a series motor, so we can write here that will be equal to Km into omega m plus Ia into Ra plus Rs. Therefore from here speed of motor can be given by omega m is equal to alpha into Vs minus Ia into Ra plus Rs upon Km. From this equation it is clear that by varying the duty cycle alpha of the chopper, the voltage across armature can be controlled, and therefore speed of DC motor can be controlled. Now next let us see the when the load is not highly inductive, then armature current will not be ripple free. Then when the switch is on, then input voltage is applied across the armature, and then armature current will increase from I min to I max, that is minimum value of current to maximum value of current, and also falls from maximum to minimum. Here we see that various waveforms of armature current. This is the source current, this is a freewheeling diode current for non-ripple free operation. And during the turn on period, the armature current can be obtained which is given by the relation Ia is equal to Vs minus Ea upon R into 1 minus E minus R by L into T plus I min e to the power minus R by L T. And during off period, the armature current will be minus of Ea upon R into 1 minus e to the power minus R by L into T plus I max into e to the power minus R by L into T. This equation can be obtained from this waveform by applying the KVL during turn on and turn off period in the circuit. Here R is the armature resistance plus series field resistance, and L is the armature inductance plus series field inductance. And under a steady state condition, the terminal voltage is given by alpha into Vs plus Ea plus Ia Ra. Now let us see the regenerative braking control. In the regenerative braking control mode, motor acts as a generator and the kinetic energy of the motor and connected load is returned to the supply. As we know that during the motoring operation, armature current is positive and motor consumes the power. But in case load drives the motor at a speed such that the average value of motor back EMF exceed the terminal voltage, then armature current becomes reversed and power is delivered to the DC bus. Then motor is said to be as a working in regenerating braking mode. Here we see that this is the configuration of regenerative braking control operation. Here we see that this is the CH is the chopper. When chopper is on, then current through the armature during turn on time flows through the motor. When chopper is turned off, then this armature back EMF becomes more than terminal voltage and diode D conducts. Then energy stored to the armature inductance is transferred to the source, and during turn off time the terminal voltage will be equal to supply voltage. Here we assume that armature current is constant and ripple free, and here we see that various waveforms. This waveform shows the armature terminal voltage. Here we see that during the turn on time the terminal voltage is equal to 0, and during turn off time we get the terminal voltage that will be equal to supply voltage. And this is the waveform of supply current, which is again we see that during the turn on time the source supply current will be 0, and during turn off time of switch, chopper switch, supply current will flow. And this is the chopper current which flows when chopper will on, and during off this will be 0. Now from the waveform, the average voltage across the chopper can be obtained, which is given by Vt is equal to T off upon T into Vs. In terms of duty cycle, this Vt will be equal to 1 minus alpha into Vs. Now power generated by the motor will be equal to Vt into Ia. By putting this value, we get the 1 minus alpha into Vs into Ia. Motor EMF generated will be equal to Ea is equal to Km into omega m, that will be equal to Vt plus IaRa. Therefore we can write Ea is equal to 1 minus alpha Vs plus IaRa, this relation in terms of duty cycle. From here we can obtain the motor speed. This is motor speed during the regenerative braking operation, that will be equal to omega m is equal to 1 minus alpha into Vs plus IaRa upon Km. When the chopper is on, then Ea minus IaRa minus La into dIa upon dt is equal to 0. From here we can write here Ea minus IaRa is equal to La minus La into d by dt of Ia. With chopper on, La must store the energy and current must rise. That is, the rate of change of armature current must be positive. Therefore Ea minus IaRa must be greater than or equal to 0. And when the chopper is off, then Ea minus IaRa minus La into d by dt of Ia is equal to Vs. From this equation we get the Vs minus Ea Ra minus is equal to minus La into d by dt of Ia. With chopper off, Ea minus IaRa must be more than Vs for regeneration purposes. Therefore this relation Vs minus Ea minus IaRa must be negative, and this is possible only if the current decreases during turn off period. That is, the rate of change of armature current must be negative. So Vs minus Ea minus IaRa must be less than or equal to 0. We can write here Ea minus IaRa must be greater than or equal to Vs. Now therefore two equation obtained, we get the condition for controlling the power during regenerative braking as 0 less than or equal to Ea minus IaRa greater than or equal to Vs. Now minimum braking speed is obtained when Ea minus IaRa is equal to 0, or Km into omega mn is equal to IaRa. So minimum braking speed will be given by IaRa upon Km, and maximum possible braking speed is obtained when Ea minus IaRa is equal to Vs. So maximum braking speed will be equal to Vs plus IaRa upon Km. Therefore regenerative braking control is effective only when minimum speed less than motor speed less than maximum speed. That is, motor speed must be in between minimum to maximum. So we can write IaRa upon Km less than omega m less than Vs plus IaRa upon Km. So speed range for regenerative braking can be given as Vs plus IaRa upon Km is to IaRa upon Km, or Vs plus IaRa is to IaRa. So the regenerative braking of chopper fed separately excited DC motor drives provides stable operation, but DC series motor operates with an unstable operating characteristics. Therefore regenerative braking of DC series motor is difficult. Now let us see the rheostatic or dynamic braking control. The rheostatic braking is also called dynamic braking. In the rheostatic braking of chopper fed DC drives, the stored energy must be dissipated in the rheostat. Therefore, the system will be heated. Here we see that arrangement of rheostat braking of separately excited DC motor. This drive operates in second quadrant, and various waveforms of this rheostatic braking control operation is here we see. Here we see that this waveform is the armature current waveform, which is assumed here constant and ripple free, and this waveform is the voltage across braking resistance. From this waveform we see that during the turn on time the voltage across braking resistance is equal to 0, and turn off time we get the IVRA value. This is the braking current waveform. Again, the during turn on operation the braking current is equal to 0, while turn off period we get the braking current which will be equal to armature current, and this is the thyristor current or switch current that will be equal to IA armature current when the switch is on, and this will be equal to 0 during turn off time. Now the average current through the braking resistance can be obtained from the waveform, which is equal to braking current is equal to 1 minus T into IA. The average voltage across the braking resistance will be equal to VB is equal to IBRB is equal to 1 minus D into IRB, and equivalent load resistance of the generator is given by R equivalent is equal to IB upon IA. In terms of duty cycle, it is given by 1 minus T into RB. Power dissipation in the braking resistance will be equal to PB is equal to IA square RB into 1 minus T, or we can write 1 minus T in IA square into IB. Therefore, from this equation we can conclude that by varying the duty cycle braking power can be controlled. Now let us see the combination of regenerative and rheostatic braking control. During rheostatic braking, the stored energy in the inertia of machine and load is dissipated as a heat, and in case of regenerative braking, the stored energy is fed back to the DC supply. Therefore, regenerative braking is energy efficient braking. If DC supply is partially receptive, the combination of regenerative and rheostatic braking control will be most energy efficient braking. This type of braking is practically suitable for the electric traction. Here we see that circuit diagram for regenerative and rheostatic braking control in combined form. Initially, regenerative braking is applied to the motor and line voltage is sensed continuously. Whenever the amplitude of voltage exceed a preset value, that is about 20% of the line voltage, the regenerative braking is removed, and then rheostatic braking is applied to the motor. In this circuit, the thyristor T2 will be turned on to divert the current to the braking resistance RB. Now let us see the two quadrant chopper drives. This circuit shows the two quadrant chopper drive circuit. For the motor mode operation, the DC to DC converter or chopper fed DC drives operates in first quadrant, where both the armature voltage and armature current are positive. During the regenerative braking, DC to DC converter fed DC drives operates in second quadrant where the armature voltage is positive but the armature current is negative. This drives operates therefore in two mode of operation. First one is motoring mode and second one is regenerative mode. In the motoring mode, the switch CH1 and diode D1 operate. When switch CH1 is turned on, the input voltage Vs is applied to the armature terminal voltage or armature terminal and armature current increases. When switch CH1 is turned off, then freewheeling diode D1 conducts and armature current falls through diode D1. In the motor mode operation, this drive operates in first quadrant. That is why it is also called forward motoring mode. Now in case of regenerative braking mode operation, the switch CH2 and diode D2 operate. When switch CH2 is turned on, then motor acts as a generator. Then armature current rises and energy is stored in armature inductance LA. When switch CS2 is turned off, then diode D2 becomes turned on and the direction of armature current is reversed. Therefore, energy stored in inductance LA will be returned to the DC supply. During the regenerative braking mode of operation, this drive operates in second quadrant operation. That is why it is also called forward regenerative braking mode operation. Now move to the next slide. 4-quadrant chopper drives. In the 4-quadrant chopper drives, a motor can be made to work in forward motoring mode, that is first quadrant, forward regenerative braking mode, that is second quadrant, reverse motoring mode, that is third quadrant, and reverse regenerative braking mode, that is fourth quadrant. Here we see that this is the circuit diagram of 4-quadrant chopper drives. It consists of 4 switches, CH1, CH2, CH3 and CH4, and 4 diode D1, D2, D3 and D4, and a separately excited DC motor. The operation of the 4-quadrant chopper drives can be explained in 4 mode of operation. First, forward motoring mode of operation, forward regenerative braking mode of operation, third, reverse motoring operation, and fourth, reverse regenerative braking mode of operation. Now let us see the forward motoring mode of operation. During the forward motoring mode of operation, the drive operates in first quadrant. In this mode, the semiconductor switch CH1 and CH4 operate, and CH3 and CH2 are off. When the switches CH1 and CH4 are turned on, then input voltage Vs is applied across the armature terminal of the DC motor, and then armature current increases. When the switch CH1 is turned off and switch CH4 is turned on, then armature current start to decrease and flows through the switch CH4 and diode D2, like that. If both the switches CH1 and CH4 are turned off, then armature current is forced to decay through diode D3 and diode D2, like that. Now let us see the forward regenerative braking mode operation. In this operating mode, the motor works as a generator. The induced EMF of the motor is greater than the input voltage. When the semiconductor switches CH1, CH4 and CH3 are turned off and switch CH2 is turned on, then armature current increases and flows through switch CH2 and diode D4, like that. When the switch CH2 becomes off, then motor acts as a generator, and the stored energy in inductance must be returned back to the DC source through diode D1 and D4, like that. D1 and D4, like that. In forward regenerative braking mode, motor operates in second quadrant. Now let us see the reverse motoring mode. In the reverse motoring mode operation, the semiconductor switches CH3 and CH2 operate, and switches CH1 and CH4 are turned off. When the switches CH3 and CH2, CH3 and CH2 are turned on, then armature current increases, but it flows in reverse direction. When the switches CH2 is turned on and switch CH3 is turned off, then armature current starts to decay and flows through the switch CH2 and diode D4, like that. CH2 and diode D4. When both switches CH3 and CH2 are turned off, then armature current falls and flows through diode D1 and D4, like that. D1 and D4. This operating mode is opposite to the forward motoring mode. Now let us see the reverse regenerative braking mode operation. When the semiconductor switches CH1, CH3 and CH2 are turned off and only the switch CH4 is turned on, then armature current increases through the switch CH4 and diode D2, like that. Then the energy is stored in inductance. When the switch CH4 is turned off, then armature current falls. As the generated voltage is greater than the input voltage, then the stored energy of motor must be returned to the DC supply through diode D3 and D2, like that. D3 and D2. In the reversed regenerative braking mode, motor operates in fourth quadrant. Thank you so much for watching this video. Kindly subscribe my channel for getting the next video. Thank you so much.